Hello everybody, my name's AK Chiba, and thanks for coming back. I'm here today to give you a little rundown of the units on Battle Dawn. Okay, now there are many types of units in Battle Dawn, about 27 different units altogether, and all the units are formed by choosing from the three different chassis, which start out are the infantry, cavalry, and heavy units. Then you have the weapons, which is slashing weapon, piercing weapon, and crushing weapon. And then your upgrade types, which first off is the armored, then you've got damage upgrade, then you have the range upgrade. Okay, now the first unit on the Battle Dawn for the infantry is the swordsman, which the swordman, well, at any point, all you got to do is look underneath to be able to see the description of the unit so you know what they can either kill or what they can survive getting hit by. Alright, now the next unit is the pikeman, then with the crushing power is the maceman. Alright, then with the damage upgrade with slashing is the Dwarf Axeman. With piercing weapon is the Amazon Huntress. Then with the crushing weapon is the Barbarian. Then with the range upgrade, the first unit is the Amazonian Archer. The piercing weapon is the Elven Huntress. And then with the crushing power, you've got the Dwarven Ranger. Okay, now although the infantry are cheap and easy to build and they're very easily killed, but can be effective in large numbers, infantry deal about 25% bonus damage to vehicles with all weapons and do regular damage to other infantry and tanks. Okay, and the next chassis is the Knight with the normal slashing weapon and the armor upgrade. And then the piercing weapon is the Lancer. The crushing weapon is the Mounted Maceman. Alright, then with the damage upgrade, first one with the slashing is the Razor Knight. With the piercing weapon, you have the Saber Tooth. Then with the crushing power, you have the Bear Cavalry. And then with the very last range upgrade, the first one with the slashing weapon is the Mounted Archer. Then with the piercing weapon is the Amazonian Tiger Rider. And with the crushing weapon, you have the Bear Gunners. Okay, the next chassis is the heavy units, or on the other worlds, tanks. But the very first unit that you can have with the slashing weapon and the armor upgrade is the Ogre. With the piercing weapon, you have the Cave Troll. With the crushing weapon, you have the War Elephant. Alright, then with the damage upgrade, your first with the slashing weapon is a Siberian Cave Hamster. Then with the piercing weapon, you have the Cave Arachnid, and then with the crushing weapon you have the Stone Giant. Then with the range upgrade, first one is the Fire Catapult. Then you have the Ballista with the piercing weapon, and the highest, strongest thing you can make is the final Trebuchet. Okay, now that all the units are covered, here's a little bit information on the different weapons you can have. Okay, now the first one, the slashing weapon, is traditionally ballistic weapons that use a variety of methods to propel a solid bullet at high speeds within, the Mars and Earth worlds, but they are most effective against soldiers. Deals 100% damage to infantry, 50% damage to vehicles, and 25 damage to the heavy. And then with the next one, the piercing weapon, it is highly effective against the cavalry because it does 100 damage to cavalry, 50 damage to the heavy units, and then 25 damage to infantry. Okay, the last of the weapons, the crushing weapon, is effective against heavily armored units because it deals 100% damage to the heavy units, 50% damage to infantry, and 25% damage to cavalry. Okay, now the unit upgrades, which are the armor upgrade, the damage upgrade, and the range upgrade. The first armor is these units are the cheapest and carry extra armor, giving it more health points than others. This means they can carry more damage and survive longer. They get about plus 2 HP for soldiers, plus 4 for vehicles or cavalry, and plus 6 for the heavier tanks. Alright, this same advantage also has its drawbacks though. The armored units on the front line and absorb damage before any is given to more expensive damage, range units. This is good for your army as a whole, but You got to be careful because if you have a majority of them, most likely your army will get killed by a bigger army. Okay, now the next is the damage upgrade, which these sort of units are of average cost and have more powerful weapons. As a consequence, deals 50% more damage than a range unit and 200% when compared to an armored unit. Damage units are very good and even fights as you give more bang for your buck in terms of armor and damage. The problem with damage units is that if you come face to face with an enemy who outnumbers you and has more range units than you do, your damage units tend to get killed before they even get a chance to use their powerful weapons. Okay, now the most effective is the range upgrade, because these units have developed weapons to strike from farther. They fire 2 rounds before armor upgraded units and 1 round before damage upgraded units. The point of these units is in a large number they can kill enemy units before their damage and armor units even have a chance to fire at you. The weight of the larger weapons and the fact that they are fired at least means these units tend to carry less armor than their damaged counterparts. They get about negative or minus 2 HP for soldiers, 4 HP for, cavalry and vehicles, and then 6 HP for tanks and the heavy units. Okay, guys, well, thanks for watching. Obviously, my name's AK to Chiba, and I will be having more videos to post, so subscribe and thank admin Andrew for this because he's the one that recommended me doing it. So, see you, everyone.